Are you looking for a neighborhood here in Fort Lauderdale that has surprisingly great walkability, a close-knit, family-friendly atmosphere, and most importantly, great proximity to everything that Fort Lauderdale has to offer? Then I have just the neighborhood for you, and that neighborhood is Rio Vista. So in this video, we're going to talk about and show you everything that you need to know about living here in Rio Vista. Before we do that though, if you're looking to buy, sell, relocate, or even invest here in Rio, Fort Lauderdale, or South Florida in general, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We get probably 5 to 6 calls a day from people just like you looking to relocate here to South Florida, and we'd love to help you as well. You can call us, email us, or text us, whatever's easiest for you. We got you. But now let's talk about living here in Rio. So let's start off with the location. Where in the world is Rio? So Rio's in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River. It's also north of 17th Street. And most importantly, all of Rio is east of Federal, which means there are some homes here in Rio on the water. Obviously, not all the homes, as you can see, are on the water, but there are a good majority of them. Of the 1,000+ homes here on the water, I'd say maybe about a fourth of them are on the water. Obviously, you'll pay a premium for that. But on top of that, I think the biggest thing is the proximity to everything within Rio. So you're only about 10 to 15 minutes to Fort Lauderdale Beach. You could easily walk to downtown in Las Olas. You can go for a walk along the river walk, and you don't have shopping and dining too far either. So whether you're looking to go to the Harbor Shops, or I think it's called the Tower Shop Shopping Center, both are directly across from each other right there on 17th Street. So the Harbor Shops has like Publix, Total Wine, I believe there's a TJ Maxx in there, La Bamba, an LA Fitness, sushi restaurant. And then the other shopping has things like JT's Cuts, there's Marshall's, coffee shop. I mean, pretty much everything and anything you can need is right there. Plus, if you're looking for a fancier dinner, you can head over to Las Olas. Whether you're going for a walk or what most people actually opt to do who live here is take a golf cart. It's much easier to, number one, park, but also get around. Plus, in the afternoons and evenings, once the kids get home from school, you'll see them all out in their golf carts, whether like their parents are picking them up from school or they're just riding around with their friends, they're blasting music. It's actually a lot of fun. When it comes to dining options here in Rio, you have a nice mix, and pretty much the world is your oyster. So we have more like fancier dinners that you can go out on Las Olas. You can go to like things like Timpano, Italy, there's Fogo de Chao, Moxie's, the Cheesecake Factory. You can't go wrong with Cheesecake Factory. I mean, they have pretty much everything, plus cheesecake's easily a top 3 dessert. Then if you're not feeling Las Olas, there's also the new Daniel's Steakhouse where Canyons used to be. There's Fat Boy Sushi right across from that. Then we have quicker things like that of Zona Fresca. There's a Five Guys. There's Gilbert's 17th Street Grill as well, which is actually one of Fort Lauderdale's best hamburgers. So if you're looking for a good burger, definitely have to go and try that. Plus there's Kaizen Sushi as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different options that you can go and try. Now, when it comes to schools here in Rio, we actually do have some top-rated schools like that of Harbordale Elementary, which is right nearby. Middle school-wise, somehow we get zoned for Sunrise Middle, or a lot of people can go to Sunrise Middle. And then there's also Fort Lauderdale High. However, what a lot of people who live here opt to do is to send their children to private schools. So one of the big private schools that people actually send their children to is that of Bethany Christian School, which is part of Rio Vista Church right here, which is actually a really cool church to go to. Small, tight-knit community. On top of that, some other great private schools that people end up sending their children to are that of like American Heritage and Plantation. It's Pinecrest right here in Fort Lauderdale. Then for high school, options like that of Cardinal Gibbons or St. Thomas Aquinas. I will say one big thing about living here in Rio is the boating lifestyle. So like we were talking about before, there are quite a few homes here on the water. While even though you might not live on the water, there are plenty of marinas right nearby as well. So probably one of the bigger ones, or newer ones technically, is that of the F3 Marina, which is pretty sweet. It's all robotic, electronic. I mean, usually you have a guy who goes and takes the machine, takes your boat off the lift and puts it in the water. This one, no, it's a machine that does the entire thing. It's honestly kind of sweet. And there's also like a little club area that you can hang out in as well. On top of that, there's also the Fort Lauderdale Yacht Club within the marina, within the neighborhood as well. So if you're looking for more of a social club, but also have like the option to go boating and things like that, this is a great option that a lot of people choose to take advantage of. So when it comes to family fun and activities to do with the young ones or just your children in general, there's actually 3 parks within the neighborhood. So you have Virginia Young Park, which is right behind me, which is actually in the heart of Rio, and it has a playground, so you will see it pretty packed in the afternoons and in the late mornings as well. Then we have Smoker Family Park, which is on the northern side of Rio, and this one's right along the Riverwalk. So there's like a little jungle gym / like outdoor workout area, some green space. So you will see a lot of people who take their dogs out there to get them outside of the house, let them run around. And then there's also Francis L. Abreu Place, which technically isn't a park, but it's a big green space area right along the Riverwalk. There's little benches under there. Honestly, a low-key, perfect spot for a date night. Honestly, they would never see you come and have a little picnic out there. That's one I'm gonna put you guys on right there. Okay, now what you really came for. What's the real estate market looking like here in Rio? So there's a little bit over 1,000 homes here in Rio, mostly single family homes, but there is a good mix of townhomes, some smaller condos, mostly low rises, no high rises, and there's actually a new development project called 6th and Rio coming, which we'll talk about in a second. But what you'll see a lot of is like what's right behind me, a lot of knockdowns. This one right behind me here as well. They knock them down, completely rebuild them, and build some of these magnificent modern masterpieces. However, don't worry, because there's actually still a lot of charm and character within the neighborhood as well. As you've probably seen as we walk throughout, there's everything from like the Spanish style, contemporary, modern, and even some farmhouse style as well. Now in terms of price point, our median price point is $2.9 million. However, if you're looking like on the lower end of that, lowest priced home right now, when I was making this video in October of 2024, is $1.4 million. However, if you want to go on the highest end, the highest priced home right now is $39.995 million. And these are just some examples of some of the new construction modern homes coming here to Rio. And then right here, you also have that Spanish style. Personally, I like the Spanish style a little bit more than modern. I don't know, there's just something about it. Also kind of reminds me of Entourage and the house that Vince and the boys stayed in. But the modern homes aren't bad either. But let me know in the comments down below, is Rio the best neighborhood here in Fort Lauderdale? And like we talked about before, if you're looking to buy, sell, relocate, or invest here in Rio, Fort Lauderdale, or South Florida in general, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We help people just like you every single day. So give us a call, shoot us a text, or shoot us an email, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.